Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about why opening preparation is really powerful, and if you don't know your opening preparation you could easily get punished. So this is especially important nowadays because we have computers. You can analyze basically every move in the opening using Stockfish for example, and you basically almost never get surprised in the opening. And when we didn't have Stockfish and everything, modern technology, people prepared for their games by themselves. And that's why they probably couldn't prepare for every move in the opening. Uh, their opponent could easily surprise them with another move, and then you're out of your opening preparation. But nowadays everyone knows their openings because of the chess computers, and that's why you really have to know your openings. Okay, so I just want to show you a game that I played on a tournament a month ago, around a month ago, and I was black, and I played the Caro-Kann. After e4, I played c6, that's Caro-Kann, and I thought I was well prepared for this game, but we're gonna see what happens. Okay, he just plays d4, d5, that's just main Caro-Kann, and now we can see e5, the advanced variation. Now here I can play bishop to f5, which is the main line, but I prefer to play c5, which is, as you can see, sacrificing a pawn. In some lines you get this pawn back, but in other lines you don't get it back, but you get compensation for that pawn, so it's quite alright, and I like it. So here he can take or play c3, but taking is really better, and he did take. And after this I play e6. You can see opening my bishop here and attacking this pawn. On the other hand, I'm blocking my light squared bishop, but this e6 move needs to be played to just attack this pawn and uh, to have quick development. So that's the cost of this e6 move. You have this blocked bishop here. But okay, he played bishop to e3, that's one line. And against this I just play knight to d7. You can see double attacking this pawn here on c5. And he can protect it, or he can just pin my knight to the king, which is also good. And now my line goes like knight to e7. And the point is that I want to get my knight to this c6 square, from where it will, destroy the pin of this knight to the king, and it will also attack this pawn here. So that's a pretty nice plan. And now what is he going to do? He played c3, which is okay, and now I play a6. This is all my opening preparation, and here I was pretty confident. I thought I knew my lines, but okay, let's see what he played. He could play this move, bishop to a4. This is an option, and after this I just play knight to c6, and I don't have any problems. On the next move I'm going to take this pawn here on e5, or this pawn here on c5, and I have a completely fine position. But he didn't play this, he just took my knight here on d7, which is another option. So I just recaptured it back, and he played knight f3, just developing his pieces. Now I still knew what to play, and I played knight to f5. This is a very good move, because I'm not giving white time to castle, because I would just take this bishop, and that's very good for me. This is just terrible for white, as you can see. These pawns are terrible. Well, this is just winning for me, of course, after bishop to c5, and that's over, so we don't have to look at that. So that's why he played bishop to d4. That's also the main move here. I wasn't completely sure what I had to play, and I quickly saw that a logical move would be like queen to c7, just again attacking this pawn one more time, and just it's a great move with a queen. It also prepares to bring the rook into the action. And that's why I played this move. But it wasn't correct. My opening preparation was knight takes d4. And the reason why I didn't play this move was because I thought he could play just pawn takes d4. But this is just bad. I know I can play these b6 ideas to challenge his pawn structure here and to try to break it. But for some reason I thought he could play b4 in this example and he would be fine. But I really don't know why I thought like this, because here b6 is a very good move. And why can't he play b4 to protect his pawn here? That's because you play a5. And you can see that whatever he does, everything is bad. If he takes your pawn here, you just take this pawn here. And you can see that you're going to break his structure here. And this is just awesome. You have the bishop pair. And this is actually winning here for black. So I really should have played that, but I didn't. Here, if I took this bishop on d4, then he would play queen takes d4. That's the move here for white. And now rook to c8, that's the preparation. Just attacking this pawn one more time. After he defends it, I play b6. And I'm not sacrificing another pawn, because after he takes my pawn, I play rook to c4. That's all the opening preparation that I sadly didn't know. And the point is that when he moves the queen, I give him a check here, and after king to f1, the position is very interesting and I have enough compensation for the lost pawn. So that's what I should have played, but I didn't. Okay, I played queen to c7 here, and the point is here that he can play b4 and I'm not going to get this pawn back, or like just he's clearly one pawn up here. I also can't play ideas with b6 because he can just take it, as you can see, and ideas with a5, I mean, he just stands there and does nothing and he's fine because he's protecting all these pawns here. So I was too slow and I chose the wrong move, queen to c7. But okay, I still played a5 because that's a pretty good move. Still trying to break the center and try to get this rook here more active. So he just castled here, which is normal, and I played bishop to e7, just developing my piece. Now he played a3, which probably wasn't the best. He could play something like queen to d3, and he has the advantage, but it's not really losing or anything for me. The game could continue something like this. I could castle, and it could go like this, you know, just I'm just trying to activate my pieces, and you know, this I'm just seeking for some counterplay, and I'm not saying this is a great position for me, but I at least try something here. So that's how the game could go. But okay, he played a3 here, and here I castled. Now he develops his knight to this d2 square, and I played a very bad move here, f6. Um, I don't know. I don't know why. I wanted him to take here on f6, and I can recapture back with my pawn, and then play e5, and I have a pretty strong center, and this would be pretty good for me. But of course, he's not going to take here on f6. He just played queen to e2. He did nothing, and this f6 move turns out to be pretty bad. I'm just weakening myself too much. And here in this position I finally took the bishop, but it's really too late, because as you can see now he's clearly a pawn up and I have no chance here. He has the advantage, but I can try to hold a draw. We're going to see what happens. Here I played b6, creating some tension here, but it's really not dangerous or anything for white. So he played his rook to the open file, and now I played rook to c8, which is a blunder. Um, but okay, this position is bad anyways. And why is this a blunder? Because he can play c6 here. A very good move. I basically can't take the pawn because of this move here, b5, and you can see that I'm going to lose my bishop and also the game. So I was also thinking about this move, b4 takes, and the point was if he takes my bishop, I tried to calculate this move here. Queen takes on c1, and I just give him a queen for 2 rooks, and he blocks the check. But the problem here is that after I take this pawn, the point is of course I have this strong pawn and also this pawn. This pawn is very strong. It's threatening to promote, but the problem here is that he can take my pawn here on f6, and the queen will come here with a check. And at the end, this rook is going to fall because of a check, and you know, it's pretty complicated, but it really doesn't work. So I didn't play this, but it was very interesting, I have to say this. But I moved my bishop to e8. Now this is really bad. As you can see, I don't know why didn't he just take my pawn on this f6 square and then take this pawn on e6 square with the queen. But okay, he played b5, and now I played a good move, finally, f5, blocking everything here and trying to hold the position, trying to hold a draw. So okay, he played queen to e3, and I played a bad move, which is of course h5. I'm just weakening myself and just letting him, you know, do something here on the king side to attack me, because on the queen side everything is blocked, so he can do stuff on the king side. I should have played h6 with the idea of g5, and of course after a move such as, you know, sometimes like it could be possible to play g4, then I play f4. I just try to block everything and to just hold a draw. But okay, I played h5, which is terrible, and he got here into my position with his knights. Okay, I protected the pawn. He came with his other knight. I played g6, and he took my bishop here, which is very bad because you can see that this bishop isn't going anywhere. It's just a bad bishop. It's like a pawn, and I don't know why did he take it. This was pretty strange to me. But okay, he took it. I recaptured, and he came here with his other knight, and I took this one too. And after he recaptures with a queen, the only move for me is queen to e7, because otherwise he comes into my position and it's over. So I played queen to e8, and surprisingly he exchanged the queens. I don't know why he did that. With doing this he gives me more chances, and okay, I was happy with that. And now I want you guys to pause the video and think about if my position is losing or if I can try to draw this game. Okay, so my position is absolutely losing, and it's because of this passed c pawn, which I always have to keep an eye on, because, you know, if I go somewhere else, then this passed pawn could like promote to a queen very quickly in 2 moves. And it's also because of my dubious pawn pushes here on the king side. I'm just weakening myself, and you know, usually when there is a passed pawn in the position in the endgame, this is pretty good for the other side. So this is losing, but I still tried to make a draw. And again, I chose the wrong technique. I thought about just coming to this c7 square with my king to protect this passed pawn from you know, promoting with my king, which is of course a less useful piece than my rooks. And when I block it, then I can move my rooks and do whatever I want, go to the king side and, you know, try to make a draw. But sadly I didn't do this. Okay, white played a4 here, which is okay, but I just played another very bad move, which is h4, weakening my pawns even more. and I'm really just giving him chances to win very quickly, which is very bad. Okay, he played h3, and now I played another terrible move, f4. Now, as you can see, my pawns are really weakened here, and he can come with his king here to the king side and just try to eat all the pawns. And you have to know that if I exchange all of the rooks, then I'm simply losing because of this passed c pawn. It's really hard to me to do anything. Okay, so here he played g3. And another very bad move from me. I really played that endgame very badly. I made a lot of terrible moves, and here we can see f3. Now, this is a total blunder. Um, Even though I'm losing, now I'm even more losing. Because he can just attack my pawn. Okay, first of all, he played king to h2. But as you can see, my pawn is going to be easily attacked here with the rooks. And I'm hardly going to defend it, or I'm just not going to defend it. So I played rook to f8, trying to hold on to this pawn. He played rook to c3. I played rook to f5 because, okay, if he plays this move, I can defend it with this. But this wasn't his idea. He played c7, which was pretty surprising to me. But then I saw what is happening here, and I saw that I was losing. I just played king to e7. You know, I have to protect this promotion square. And he played rook to c1, adding more forces here to just promote to a queen on the next move. And now the move would be king to c8 or just rook to c8. I don't have other moves, but then it's over after something like rook to c6, and you can see that everything falls. So I'm completely losing here. But instead of this, okay, I played rook to f8, which is losing on the spot. Because of what? Queen to c8, that's right. This is the combination here. I mean, not a combination. This is a move here, the best move in the position. I have to take the queen. He just exchanges everything, and he's winning because my king is really far away from the action here on the king side. And okay, I first took the pawn with a check. It doesn't matter. He recaptured. I recaptured the rook. And now, as you can see, he's going to take all of my pawns and just promote a queen and win the game. So we played for a couple of moves here. This is what happened. Here I just resigned the game because of course this is losing. Okay, so the crucial mistake in the game, and the first mistake of the game actually, was in the opening, where I forgot my opening preparation and it was just terrible. I just played queen to c7 instead of knight takes d4, which is correct. And that's why I'm telling you that opening preparation is so powerful, because as you can see, one move that it's not your opening preparation, where you miss your preparation, it could be really decisive. And if your opponent knows what he's doing, and if he's prepared, he's probably going to just punish you. So guys, know your openings unless you want to lose like me here. Okay. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope that you learned something new from it. And if you did, please share it, give it a like, and I'll see you in the next video.